So these are my ingredients. I'm going to be using some saltfish. So for this recipe, I boiled my saltfish. I'm using some garlic powder, black pepper and salt. I use some all-purpose flour. I have my steamed callaloo. Now pertaining to the saltfish, I boil it. Sometimes I soak the saltfish like overnight just to remove the excess salt, but today I boil it. I'm also going to be using some chopped tomatoes, scallion, and sweet pepper. Now, if you like, you could always use other ingredients as well. Any ingredient I use and you don't like to add it to your fritters, then you could always omit them, alright? Or replace them with other ingredients. So to the flour, I'm going to add my saltfish. Now bear in mind that when you add the saltfish into the flour, if there is any bone in it, then you could always remove it at that time. So that's what I just did. When you mix it and you coat the saltfish in the flour, if there's any bone, then you will see the bone sticking through the flour. Alright, so I also like to coat the saltfish in the flour so that the saltfish will spread out in the flour mixture. It won't be like one place, and because the flour allow it to be everywhere. Now I'm adding my seasoning, as I said earlier, garlic powder, black pepper, and a pinch of salt. The saltfish, it has some salt, and the callaloo, I steamed it with some salt. So I don't want mine to have too much salt. Alright? So as you go along, guys, if you're using the saltfish with the bone, you want to coat and look to see if there is any bone sticking through the flour. So here I'm just adding my seasoning. Now the reason I like to do this, same thing with the saltfish, I don't want the seasoning to be one place. I want it to be spread out in the mixture. So I'm just gonna coat it very well in the flour mixture, and then I'm gonna move on to the next step. Now you could always add some onions, but I don't like to taste onion in my fritters. I rather the scallion give it a nicer taste. Also, if you like, you could add some scotch bonnet pepper. I'm not a pepper lover, so I'm not gonna add any. And also I have a daughter, so I don't really want to give her the pepper. Alright, now I'm adding some water. You have to add the water to let the butter come together. Alright, now I'm adding a little water each time. For me, I don't like my batter to be too thick. So if you like your batter on a thicker side, because some persons they like thick fritters, if you like yours on a thicker side, then you could add less water than I did. If you like yours very thin, then just add a little bit more liquid. Or if you like yours just right, like me, then just do what I did. Alright, so after doing this, I'm going to add the callaloo. Now you wanna steam your callaloo first. Ensure that your callaloo is cool before you add it to the mixture. Right? I had mine in the fridge, so it was chilled. So you wanna gently fold until you form your batter. Now as you can see, the batter is not too thick, but it's not too thin. Alright? So now we're gonna preheat the oil, and then we're gonna get to frying. Alright, so when you place your batter on the spoon, it should not fall off like quickly. If it's falling off too fast, then add a little bit more flour because you don't want it to be too thin. So now guys, I added some oil to the pot. I want the oil to become hot. You don't want to place your butter in cold oil, right? Because you don't want to flour fritters. You want some very nice fritters, right? So now I'm using a big spoon to drop my fritters. Based on the size fritter you want, then you'd have to use the size spoon. As you can see, guys, when I drop them, I like to use the spoon to just flatten it because I don't like my fritters to be thick at all. It is a turn off for me. Alright, so that's why I added enough water to my batter. Now I'm gonna fry each side on a medium high flame. You don't want the flame to be too high, and you don't want it to be too low. So when one side become golden brown, you can know when it needs to turn, because you're going to see the underside at the edges. You're going to see that it's becoming golden brown. So I'm just going to turn them to the other side and let them fry. So based on the flame that you're using or the speed of your stove, they fry different time. So I can't really give you an estimate time to say, okay, it's gonna fry within a specific time. Alright? So my love and my one well crispy and nice. So at this point I'm going to remove them from the pot. Now I don't place mine on a paper towel, I place it on a wire rack to drain the excess oil, or you can just put it on a plate. But it's best to put it on a wire rack. So when I remove it from the pot, I put it on a plate this time, but most times I use a wire rack. Okay? Now so if you use a paper towel, even though it will remove the excess grease, your fritters not going to be crispy and nice, they're gonna be soggy. Alright, so I don't like soggy fritters, so I don't normally add mine on paper towel. Now I'm gonna fry the next batch, and then when I do so, I return and let you see the end product. So this is the end product, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also click subscribe and join the family. And please, guys, please share the video, tell others about my recipes, and I hope to see you in another video soon. And when you subscribe, turn on the bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And please, guys, may I beg you to watch the ads, because that's how the channel will earn, so I can produce more contents for you. Take good care, guys, and if I try the recipe, please comment down below and give me your feedback. I know you guys gonna enjoy the recipe just as much as I and my family did. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.